guys, Morgan here. Welcome to the Daily Draft, where we take Magic one draft at a time. We are in a Swiss queue as per usual. Interesting open. Exquisite Firecraft is probably one of the better removal spells in this format. There's also an Acolyte in the Inferno in red and a Resoul in black. But definitely just taking the Exquisite Firecraft because efficient removal is pretty good. Here I could take the Unholy Hunger, I could take the Knight of the Pilgrim's Road, or I could take the Throwing Knife. All options. There's also a Goblin Glory Chaser I could take. I think I take the Unholy Hunger. Removal is just super decent. Here I'm taking the Sigilled Starfish. Having a Sigilled Starfish on turn 2 is pretty good, and I'm not necessarily attached to either of my first two picks thus far. Alright, so here I think I take the Reclusive Artificer. It's probably the best card in this pack. It's pretty easy to take incidental artifacts, like Bonded Construct, for example. And I'd rather take that over like a Rock Smallers or a Charging Griffin. Alright, awesome. There's an Aspiring Aeronaut in this pack that I'm pretty happy to take. Another Rock Smallers here and Read the Bones, but nothing that I'm, super attached to. Kind of wish I had taken the freaking knife over the Unholy Hunger now, but that's sort of results oriented, I think. Here there's a Scrap Skin Drake and there's a Turn to Frog. I think I take the Turn to Frog, as Turn to Frog is as close to removal as blue gets. Here I'm taking the Fiery Conclusion, which is actual removal. Excuse me, although I wouldn't hate having at least one Guardians of Miletus. Pricklebore, pretty easy to pick. It's a 5/3 first strike on offense, so pretty decent. Oh, here, best card in the pack is probably either Necromantic Summons or Eyeblade Assassin. I'll take the one with the lower converted mana cost. Okay, Maritime Guard is a 2-drop. Can go in this deck. Not exciting, but take the Calculated Dismissal. Again, not exciting, but I'll take it. Artificer's Epiphany, still not exciting, but you know what? It's pretty good with my two Artificers, so I'll take it. If I get more artifacts, Gear for Aether Grid could be fine. I'm not planning on it being fine. Nivix Barrier is not something that I would be extremely happy to play. Excuse me, goodness. Right now the deck can probably eke out some wins. If I open a black bomb, I might switch to black. But right now, I like the idea of picking up, Thopter Engineer, Gearper, Gearcrafter. Whirler Rogue works as well. Definitely happy to take that over Kothafed. There's a Claustrophobia in this pack as well. Screeching Scab too, but Whirler Rogue, definitely very good, and definitely good in this deck. Especially with things like Pricklebore, which we want to get in for damage. Here I'm looking for, in this pack I'm looking for cards like Ram Roller or Rune Servitor. That will put more artifacts onto the battlefield. Here I'm taking the Gearcrafter over the Separatist Void Mage because, as you can see, we're a little bit jammed at the 4 spot already. And Gearcrafter gets our artifact on. But yeah, just artifact creatures, pretty good. Here I'm going to take the Jessian Thief over the Majoring Bully and the Fire Fiend Elemental because it says draw a card. Pretty much a no-brainer. Although, I wouldn't mind having a Majoring Bully on account of it being a 2-drop. Alright, now here, normally I'd be looking at the Boggart Brute, but given we have the Whirler Rogue and the Reclusive Artificer, I'm definitely just taking the Rune Servitor. Subterranean Scout is another good one, but Rune Servitor is definitely where we want to be. Um, there's a Separatist Void Mage and a Lightning Javelin. I'll just take the burn spell. There's also a Disperse and a Bonded Construct. Hopefully one of those will wheel. Alright, so this is kind of interesting in that there are a couple of good options for us. There's a Rogue's Passage, a Seismic Elemental, and a Majoring Bully, as well as a Titan Strength as a combat trick. I'm going to take the Rogue's Passage. Seismic Elemental is usually better in the green decks, and as you can see, we're working on our 2-drops. Not quite there yet, but Rogue's Passage is a nice win condition. Here, between Bonded Construct and Subterranean Scout. Oh, that's actually a tough one. I think I actually want the Bonded Construct, given that it hits the tiebreaker of Artifact. There's a Veteran Sidearm, a Titan Strength, and a Meteorite. Yeah, definitely taking the Sidearm. It's an artifact, and it can make my Jessian Thief bigger, my Maritime Guide bigger, my Starfish bigger. A lot of potential there. Guess I take the Screeching Scab. I'm not excited about it, but it's not terrible. Here I'm definitely taking the Chandra's Fury over the second Screeching Scab. The Fort of the Face is super relevant, and it can incidentally turn on things like Jessian Thief's prowess. Here I'm going to take Warhorn. Given the number of little dudes I have, Warhorn is actually pretty good. That and its artifact synergy. Got an Alchemist Vial. Alchemist Vial is fine. Psychic Rebuttal. It's good against opposing Chandra's Furies, but it seems way too specific to be actually really that great. Here I could take a Sigiled Starfish, a Water Courser, a Fire Fiend Elemental, or I could hate draft these Kytheons Irregulars, which I pretty much can't beat. I mean, given the strength of turn 2 Sigiled Starfish, I think I just take the Starfish, though. Having 2 seems pretty good. Here I'm just going to take a Bonded Construct, because it's an artifact. Here, pretty happy with an Acolyte of the Inferno. It's a nice attacker. There's not much else to say about it. Probably not going to play this Aether Grid. Alright, so there's a Claustrophobia, a Scab Goliath, and a Guardians of Miletus. I'm going to take the Claustrophobia as a removal spell. Probably going to take out... Excuse me, sorry. I'll take out the Maritime Guard, I think. I'm going to take another Bonded Construct, because playing Bonded Construct, Bonded Construct, Bonded Construct seems really funny. Alright, another Claustrophobia. We'll take out the Artificer's Epiphany. Put the Fairy Miscreant there. I feel like we cut Screeching Scab given how many Bonded Constructs we have. Alright, I'm going to take this turn to Frog. And I think I might put it in the sideboard. Do I have any flyers? Yeah, I do. Put the Scrapskin Drake in the sideboard against the Fairy Miscreant deck. Or we will just draft the Fairy Miscreant deck. No. I'm going to take the Revenant. And that can go over there. Keep other people from having such a sick deck. I think the thing that's going to win us the most games is probably Rogue's Passage or Whirler Rogue. Or both. Combination of the two. I'm going to hate draft this Aerial Volley. I think, given that I could have had 3 whole Fairy Miscreants, given that I have 3 bonded constructs, I'm going to play a Maritime Guard over a Veteran Sidearm. It's cutting down on my artifact density a little bit, but again, I have 3 whole bonded constructs, which seems fine to me. So I'm gonna add some basics. 9/7 seems fine. I have a couple of double blue spells early, so yeah. And we'll submit the deck. I'll see you in round 1.